Charles Bronson, a famous American actor known for his tough guy roles, had a complex and hidden life, as revealed by his daughter. Despite his reputation for arrogance and violence, a controversial rumor has dogged him since the beginning. Let's explore the true story behind the persona of Charles Bronson, shaped by his past. Bronson, born in Pennsylvania in 1921, was the 11th child in a large Roman Catholic family. His father was from Lithuania and his mother had Lithuanian ancestry. Bronson's childhood in Pennsylvania was unique, as he didn't speak English at home, much like many other children in the area. His accent was so distinct that even during his time as a soldier, his comrades often mistook him for a foreigner. Besides English, he was fluent in Lithuanian, Russian, and Greek. In a candid 1973 interview, Charles Bronson opened up about the turbulent relationship he had with his father, a man he barely knew and felt both love and resentment toward. When their father came home, Bronson and his siblings would hide, a sign of the fear and unease that permeated their household. Tragically, in 1933, Bronson's father died, forcing him into the coal mines at a young age. Starting in the mining office, he soon found himself deep in the mines, earning just $1 per ton of coal. In a later interview, he recounted the grueling double shifts he endured for a paltry $1 a week, about $24 in today's money. Bronson and his brother faced the perilous task of removing stumps between mines, constantly under threat of cave-ins. The Great Depression hit the family hard. Bronson often went hungry, and his mother couldn't afford milk for his younger sister, resorting to warm tea instead. Sometimes, Bronson had to wear his sister's dress to school due to their dire financial situation. Yet, amid these hardships, he achieved a milestone by becoming the first in his family to graduate from high school. In 1943, Bronson left the mines behind to join the United States Army Air Forces during World War II. He served with the 760th Flexible Gunnery Training Squadron before becoming an aerial gunner on the Boeing BR-29 Superfortress with the 61st Bombardment Squadron in Guam. Over his service, he flew 25 combat missions and was awarded a Purple Heart for his bravery and the injuries he sustained in battle. After World War II, Charles Bronson navigated a series of odd jobs until a gig painting scenery for a Philadelphia theatrical group sparked his interest in acting. This opportunity led to minor acting roles, and soon Bronson found himself in New York City, sharing an apartment with fellow aspiring actor Jack Klugman. Eager to refine his craft, he eventually moved to Hollywood and enrolled in acting classes at the prestigious Pasadena Playhouse. In the early days of his career, Bronson was credited as Charles Buczynski. His film debut came in 1951 with an uncredited role as a sailor in You're in the Navy Now. That same year, he appeared in The Mob and The People Against O'Hara, beginning to build his resume. 1952 saw Bronson acting in a variety of films, including The Bloodhounds of Broadway and Diplomatic Courier. He also made his mark on television, notably boxing with Roy Rogers on Knockout and guest starring on The Red Skelton Show and Biff Baker, USA. In 1953, Bronson's career took a notable turn when he played Igor in the horror classic House of Wax. To prepare for his role as a mute character, he took a sign language course, showcasing his dedication to his craft. The film was a box office hit and eventually earned a place in the National Film Registry, marking a significant milestone in Bronson's burgeoning career. In 1954, Charles Bronson began to carve out a distinct identity in Hollywood. He appeared in films like Riding Shotgun and Apache, and, keen to distance himself from the era's Red Scare paranoia, changed his surname from Buczynski to Bronson. By 1955, Bronson was making notable strides, featuring in Target Zero and Jubal, and landing a lead role in an episode of DuPont Cavalcade Theater. His momentum continued in 1956 with a role in Sam Fuller's Run of the Arrow and appearances on TV shows such as Medic and the Alfred Hitchcock Presents. 1957 saw Bronson's guest roles in popular series like Colt Point for Five and Have Gun, Will Travel, showcasing his versatility. The following year, he took on leading roles in Roger Corman's biopic Machine Gun Kelly, Showdown at Boot Hill, and Gang War, all released in 1958. That same year, Bronson's star continued to rise as he became the lead in ABC's Man with a Camera, portraying Mike Kovac, a freelance crime-fighting photographer. The series ran until 1960. In November 1958, he starred in When Hell Broke Loose, and in 1959, he made a memorable appearance as Butch Cassidy on the TV western Tales of Wells Fargo. Overall, Bronson's early career was a whirlwind of film and television roles, marked by his strategic name change and his ability to captivate audiences across genres. During this period, Charles Bronson's career gained momentum with supporting roles in major projects. He appeared in the war film Never So Few, directed by John Sturges, and showcased his talent in TV shows like Yancey Derringer and U.S. Marshal. In 1960, he played one of the iconic gunfighters in Sturgis's The Magnificent Seven. While the film was a box office disappointment in the US, it received critical acclaim in Europe. Bronson kept busy with TV appearances in shows such as Riverboat, The Islanders, and Lammy, and secured a recurring role in the second season of Hennessy. In 1961, he landed supporting roles in films like Master of the World, A Thunder of Drums, and X-15, while also starring in episodes of One Step Beyond and The Twilight Zone. 1962 saw Bronson act alongside Elvis Presley in Kid Galahad, and in 1963, he reunited with John Sturges for The Great Escape. This film, featuring an ensemble cast, was a commercial and critical triumph, grossing over $11 million and earning a Golden Globe nomination for Best Picture. That same year, Bronson played a villain in Robert Aldrich's For Texas and co-starred in the TV series Empire. His television presence continued with roles in The Travels of J.M.E. McPheeters and a guest appearance in the popular Western series Bonanza. Throughout this period, Bronson solidified his status in both film and television, taking on a variety of roles that highlighted his versatility and helped establish him as a formidable actor in Hollywood. In 1965, Charles Bronson added a string of notable roles to his resume, starring in Guns of Diablo and Battle of the Bulge, and guest starring on The Legend of Jesse James. The following year, he appeared in Sidney Pollack's This Property is Condemned and Vincent Minnelli's The Sandpiper. His breakthrough came in 1967 with the ensemble cast of Robert Aldrich's The Dirty Dozen, a commercial hit. He also made memorable TV appearances, including a stint on The Fugitive. Bronson's star continued to rise in 1968 with his performance in the French film Adieu l'ami alongside Alain Delon, leading to a series of successful European movies. He starred in Sergio Leone's iconic Once Upon a Time in the West and was considered for a role in the 1969 film 99 and 44, 100% Dead. Throughout the 1970s, Bronson took on lead roles in films like Lola, You Can't Win Them All, Violent City, Cold Sweat, and Rider on the Rain. His roles in Someone Behind the Doors and Red Sun in 1971, and The Valachi Papers in 1972, further solidified his status. Bronson's fame peaked in 1972 when he won the Golden Globe Henrietta Award for the World Film Favorite, Male. Collaborating with director Michael Winner, he starred in action hits like Chato's Land, The Mechanic, and The Stone Killer. By 1973, Bronson was the world's top box office attraction, commanding $1 million per film, and starred in Chino, directed by John Sturges. In 1974, Bronson's career reached new heights with his iconic role in A Death Wish, where he played a vigilante seeking revenge. Despite mixed reviews, the film was a box office success and spawned for sequels. He also starred in Mr. Majestic that year, directed by Richard Fleischer. Bronson's career flourished in both American and European films, establishing him as a major action star. In the 1970s and 1980s, he continued to shine in diverse roles. In 1975, he appeared in A Breakout and Breakheart Pass, though both underperformed. However, he earned acclaim for his role in Hard Times, about a street fighter during the Great Depression. Despite turning down a role in The Shootist due to the character's prostate cancer, Bronson ranked fourth in box office drawing power in 1975, behind Robert Redford, Barbra Streisand, and Al Pacino. In 1976, he starred in the Western comedy From Noon Till 3 and made his first film with director J. Lee Thompson, St. Ives. The following year, he appeared in the acclaimed television film Raid on Entebbe, based on the true story of the Entebbe raid, which received positive reviews and won several awards. Charles Bronson's career is marked by both missed opportunities and significant successes. He famously turned down a chance to work with legendary director Ingmar Bergman and was rejected after auditioning for the role of Superman. He also missed out on notable parts in Capricorn 1 and Escape from New York. Despite these setbacks, Bronson remained a prolific actor through the late 1970s and 1980s, commanding high salaries and collaborating with smaller production companies. His career surged with the commercial success of Death Wish 2 in 1982. This film solidified his partnership with Cannon Films, leading to roles in 10 to Midnight and Death Wish 3. While known for his tough guy action roles, Bronson earned praise for his performances in Murphy's Law and Act of Vengeance, showcasing his range as an actor. Throughout this period, Bronson continued to headline a variety of action films, including Assassination and Kinjite, Forbidden Subjects. Although some of his movies did not achieve box office success, his performances were often critically acclaimed, reinforcing his status as a versatile and enduring star in Hollywood. Bronson's early life and career were marked by deprivation and struggle, experiences that left deep scars on him. Born into a poor Lithuanian immigrant family, he faced significant hardships during his childhood, which only fueled his determination to escape his circumstances. His early years as an actor were equally challenging, as he grappled with rejection and financial instability. A 1973 newspaper profile revealed that Bronson was so painfully shy and introverted that he couldn't bring himself to watch his own films. This shyness wasn't merely a surface trait, it was a profound part of his character, shaped by years of hardship and struggle. The same profile depicted Bronson as a man who remained suspicious of others, held on to grudges, despised interviews, and hated revealing anything about himself. Despite his tough on-screen persona, he was a deeply private individual who struggled with the public's perception of him. Even after finally gaining recognition in the US, Bronson was bitter about the long wait. His resentment ran so deep that he famously refused to work with a prominent director who had once snubbed him early in his career, underscoring his inability to forgive and forget. Critic Roger Ebert, writing in 1974, noted that Bronson was a man of few words, rarely volunteering information or elaborating on his thoughts. He had no theories about his films, preferring to let his work speak for itself. Ebert recounted an incident where Bronson had threatened to get Time magazine critic Jay Cox after a negative review, viewing it as a personal attack. This reaction highlighted a key aspect of Bronson's character. Unlike other actors who merely projected violence on screen, Bronson seemed to carry a genuine intensity and potential for violence in real life. Bronson's demeanor and reactions were deeply rooted in his past experiences and the battles he had fought to achieve fame. His struggle for recognition and the barriers he encountered along the way left him perpetually guarded and skeptical of others' intentions. This complex mix of vulnerability and toughness made Bronson a unique figure in Hollywood, one whose real-life persona was as compelling and enigmatic as the characters he portrayed on screen. Charles Bronson's first marriage was to Harriet Tendler, a fellow aspiring actor he met in Philadelphia when both were fledgling performers. Their paths crossed in 1947 at a local acting school, where the 18-year-old Tendler encountered the 26-year-old Charlie Buczynski, as Bronson was then known. Despite their modest beginnings, Tendler's love and support were unwavering. She stood by Bronson's side, working to support them both while they pursued their dreams in the entertainment industry. Their courtship was humble. On their first date, Bronson had only 4 cents in his pocket. Nevertheless, their bond grew strong, and 2 years later, they married in 1949, even with the grudging consent of Tendler's father, a successful Jewish dairy farmer. Their marriage marked the beginning of a journey that would eventually see Bronson transform from a struggling actor into one of the highest-paid stars in Hollywood. Together, they had 2 children, Suzanne and Tony, before their marriage ended in 1965. In 1962, during the filming of The Great Escape, Bronson met English actress Jill Ireland, who was then married to Scottish actor David McCallum. Their meeting was fateful, with Bronson reportedly telling McCallum, "I'm going to marry your wife." True to his word, Bronson and Ireland fell in love and married on October 5, 1968, after her divorce from McCallum. The Bronsons established their home in a Grand Bel Air mansion in Los Angeles, creating a vibrant, blended family. They raised 7 children, Suzanne and Tony from Bronson's previous marriage, Paul, Jason, and Valentine from Ireland's previous marriage, with Jason being adopted, and their own daughters, Zulika and Katrina, the latter of whom was also adopted. The Bronson household was lively and full of love, with children from different backgrounds coming together under one roof. Bronson and Ireland's professional and personal lives were deeply intertwined. Ireland often starred as Bronson's leading lady, and together they appeared in 15 films, showcasing their on-screen chemistry and real-life partnership. Their films included memorable titles such as A Rider on the Rain and Breakout, where their performances captivated audiences. Despite the public's perception of Bronson as a tough, stoic figure, his relationship with Ireland revealed a softer, more affectionate side. They supported each other through thick and thin, navigating the challenges of Hollywood while maintaining a strong family bond. Their love story endured until Ireland's untimely death in 1990, leaving a legacy of devotion both on and off the screen. Bronson's marriages, particularly his deep connection with Jill Ireland, were pivotal in shaping the man behind the tough guy persona. These relationships highlighted his capacity for love, commitment, and resilience, painting a fuller picture of an actor who was as complex and compelling in real life as the characters he portrayed on screen. To keep their family close, his daughter confirmed that Charles Bronson and Jill Ireland would pack up their entire brood and take them along to filming locations, ensuring they could all be together. They cherished their time at a colonial farmhouse on 260 acres in West Windsor, Vermont. Here, Ireland raised horses and trained their daughter Zulika to compete at the highest levels of horse showing. The family also enjoyed spending winter holidays in Snowmass, Colorado, throughout the 1980s and early 1990s. Charles Bronson, celebrated for his tough guy roles, demonstrated remarkable versatility in various projects throughout his career. In a heartwarming holiday drama, Bronson portrayed Francis Pharcellus Church, earning acclaim for his nuanced performance that showcased his ability to break away from his typical rugged image. This role highlighted his talent for handling more delicate, character-driven stories. In the CBS television film Donato and Daughter, Bronson played a father-daughter cop duo investigating a serial killer, revealing a warmer, more caring side. Additionally, his portrayal of the antagonist in The Sea Wolf surprised critics with its depth, showcasing his skill in embodying morally complex characters. Critics appreciated Bronson's range and effectiveness in these varied roles. Despite his success, Bronson's final starring role in the theatrical release Death Wish v. The Face of Death received negative feedback. Following this, he transitioned to television, starring as Commissioner Paul Fane in a trilogy of TV movies, where he maintained his tough guy persona in a fresh dynamic. Bronson's health began to decline in the 1990s, leading to hip replacement surgery in 1998, effectively ending his acting career. This marked a stark change from the vigorous roles he once played. Additionally, Bronson faced personal tragedy when his wife, Jill Ireland, died of breast cancer in 1990. A television film chronicled Ireland's life and her battle with the disease, depicting Bronson's supportive role. In 1998, Bronson found love again with Kim Weeks, whom he met through Ireland's audiobooks. Despite mixed reviews for his later films, Bronson's legacy as an iconic tough guy actor remained intact. He transitioned to television roles in the Family of Cops series, portraying a family man and adding depth to his on-screen persona. His resilience and human side were evident in his ability to find love again with Weeks. Bronson passed away in 2003 at the age of 81, succumbing to respiratory failure and metastatic lung cancer. Critic Stephen Hunter described Bronson as a charismatic figure with a unique appeal, praising his nobility and toughness. Director Michael Winner highlighted Bronson's on-screen presence and magnetism, noting his silent intensity that captivated audiences without needing extensive dialogue. Bronson's quiet dominance in his roles left a lasting impact, solidifying his status as a cinematic legend.